YouTube, do you guys also have those friends? And you guys know which friends I'm talking about. The ones where you're like, man, you ain't getting no pub with that haircut. But luckily, my friend is friends with a barber. What's going on? I'm Pico.Blurred and I post barber content teaching you guys if you are cutting hair, teaching you guys step by step how to cut hair, or if you're a client, figuring out what hairstyle is best for you. In this video, I'm transforming my friend from getting no pub to getting put when he gets home with this haircut. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. All right, you guys see the hair that he came in with. He definitely needed a change. He needed a haircut. So what I'm doing right now is setting in my perimeter to blend in the top to the side. So I'm going around under his parietal ridge. I'm pulling some hair out, creating kind of a shelf so I know what we're gonna fade into. Now he's not getting a bald fade or anything. He's just getting a cleanup. So I'm setting this longest length that we're gonna fade into around his head, and that's pretty much gonna be the highest part of our blend. Now it's gonna be a blend from like a number 1 to a number 4, shear work on top, blending that in together to give you a seamless haircut. And right now it's just kind of a rough draft. I'm basically just trying to clear out bulk. And so now to take off all of the hair underneath, I use my number 4 guard and I'm blending right into that cliff that we just created with our shears. Not really trying to round out or dig into that. I'm going off the shape that we just left so we can start to blend in the bottom to the top. And this isn't really a blending part. We're literally just trying to get rid of all this bulk. You guys saw how much hair he came in with. He wanted that off. He was noticing that he was getting really oily skin underneath, and the long hair, he was just done with it. So we're clearing off everything. He wants to go a bit shorter with this comb over. So we're basically doing an overall huge transformation on him. And I can't wait to show you guys the end result because he just looks like a whole different person. So now I'm refining that shape that we created with some clipper over comb, fine-tuning that square shape that we want, trying to get rid of any lines and start to begin to make this shape really, really nice for him. And now to start my blending process, again, it's not going to be a fade or anything, it's just like a shadow fade. So the bottom length is going to be my 1.5 guard closed, and I'm setting in kind of a baseline so I know where my blend is going to start. And I'm clearing all that out, making sure everything is even to that 1.5 guard length. I'm going over it multiple times, creating kind of a baseline shape so we know what to blend into our top around the parietal ridge. So now I'm going in with my number 2 guard with the lever open, softening that area. And we're not really creating guidelines with this one since it isn't a gradual, or it isn't a super drastic change from skin to hair up top. So we can just go into our number 4 flicking out and softening all that area, just trying to get a nice blend and get any bulk or dark spots that we see in this blend. This kind of haircut is going to be your money maker in the shop because it doesn't take you a whole lot. You don't really have to worry about guidelines not being taken out, dark spots not being taken out. It's really, really simple to do. It's really quick to do, and your guard system makes it super, super simple for you because basically the guards blend into each other super easily. And I call this a money maker haircut because, like I said, they pay you the same amount for a regular haircut, and it takes you way less time, and it's way simple to do. You're not having to worry about doing all kinds of shear work, blending into a nice and blurry fade where they get skin all the way at the bottom. You have to make sure that the blend looks super blurry. This one is a gradual blend, super simple, super easy, but you do want to make sure that the blend looks seamless, it looks smooth, and there's not any dark spots, lines of demarcation, or any bulk in areas that you don't want. So after I kind of went through my guard system from my 1.5 up to my 4, I'm going back doing some detail work, just making sure that any areas that I see darkness, I'm taking out, using a lot of the corners, just blending this area so it looks like one uniform blend. But guys, you guys can see he's already looking like a whole different person. Now we still have a lot of work to do on the top of the head because he does want a lot of length taken off. But we're doing it right here. You guys see that blend coming together. There's still a little bit of bulk on that parietal ridge, on that perimeter that we set in. We're gonna go ahead and tackle that after all the blend looks nice and even and smooth. I think I go in with some shear over comb or some thinning shear over comb just to soften that up, not really taking out length and changing the darkness, because I want to keep it still dark in that area. So I'm going in thinning shear over comb to thin that out, to make it transition a bit more smooth, take out some of the bulk and leave the darkness. That's kind of the best way to do this, in my opinion, is using thinning shear over comb. Like I said, you're not changing the shape and you're not taking length off, you're just lessening the weight so it blends into the bottom blend. But look how fast we got that done. Super easy. You're only using about 3 guards. It's not hard to do, super simple. So if you have a client and they're not really sure what they want to get, but they know that they want to keep hair on the sides of the head without getting it bald, I recommend doing this shadow fade for them because it still looks very professional. It's a very clean look, especially if you get the edge up super crispy. So get this blend going, but the real magic in this type of haircut is getting those edge ups really crisp. So I'm going to show you guys once we get to that point, and show you how it makes this haircut just pop. And so there you saw me kind of part a little bit more hair from the top into the sides. There was a little bit of bulk that was hanging over it that I just wanted to change the shape of the top of the head to start blending into the sides. And now we're going to do our shear work. So I'm saturating my client's hair with water. You want to make sure that you really get it saturated so you have a lot of control when you're doing your shear work, and your shears can easily go through the hair. Sometimes when the hair isn't wet, the shears have a hard time going through dry hair, especially with his hair super thick. So you want to make sure that it's really saturated with water, and then you're going to do your first guideline, which is the mohawk, your profile section guideline down the middle, and I'm taking off a lot of bulk. Once I'm happy with that guideline, that's going to set you up for the rest of the top of the head. So whatever I cut from the middle, I'm bringing up the sides, and I'm just matching that together, matching our initial guideline and cutting everything off the sides. And as I get more towards the right side of that comb over side, I'm bringing the hair down kind of towards that comb over to make sure that everything blends in nicely to the side. I don't want a whole bunch of bulk sticking over, just because that doesn't really look connected. It looks more like a disconnected kind of look, but I do leave it a little bit longer towards the front so he has that kind of flow going back towards the back area. But in my opinion, so he came back a couple weeks after this and got it retouched up, and we actually went a bit shorter. He just wanted to go a bit shorter, so the next time I cut it way shorter, made sure that everything was blended in. On this haircut particularly, I didn't know how much exactly he wanted off, so I left a bit of length towards the front so he had some to kind of push over and have kind of like a flowy style. But again, I'm bringing up horizontal sections and making sure that all the top is all even. And whatever you do to the right side, you're gonna do that to the left side as well. And you can cross-check your work by pulling vertical sections, making sure that everything is even up top. That's how you check your work. You first do your profile section, your mohawk section, cut it down to your length, cut everything horizontal, and then to check your work, you can go vertical, the opposite direction, and make sure that everything is not nice and even. But you guys kind of see the haircut coming together. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out while you guys watch, and I'll catch you guys when we get to our lineup section. Look at that hairstyle on him. Now we're gonna polish it up and make sure that it's really set apart. So I'm taking my trimmers and I'm going over his edge up, leaving it super natural, but also super crisp. There's a difference between having a nice natural looking hairline and having a natural looking hairline that is really sharp. I think it just brings it to the next level. Sometimes you'll see different kind of hair artists and they'll put in kind of a more natural hairline, and the haircut in my opinion just doesn't look finished. So with this crisp edge up, it just brings the haircut to a whole other level. It really makes the blend pop, and I just think that having a super crispy edge up sets you apart from everybody else. But you guys see that edge up coming together. So when I'm doing my C-cups, I like to set in two guidelines, one at the top and one at the bottom, and then I meet those together in the middle. Again, I'm not pushing super far into his hair because I don't want the grow back and the line to look unnatural. And then when it starts growing back, you see that it's like, well, he got pushed back. So I like to keep everything super natural, and you can still get a super crispy line. Look at that blend though. That blend is looking seamless and just looking super nice for him. Definitely needed that when he came and saw me for this haircut. And you can't tell me that this does not look good on him. Not everybody needs a bald fade. Would I recommend a bald fade to most people? Yes, because I think bald fades look timeless and they last a bit longer, but this gentleman's comb over, super in line with most business looks. It just looks super great on anybody. It's a timeless look, and he can wear this out. He can wear it to his job, wherever he needs to look professional or cleaned up. So we're finishing off this haircut with my shaver on the bottom, just making sure that everything is tight under that edge up. And now it's time to clean up our work using the alcohol so that he doesn't get any bumps, any infections, and everything is all clean on him. But again, guys, this is how he came in, looking super just like he definitely needed this change in his life. And this is how he's leaving. Super clean, super crispy. His wife was gonna love it, and I think this just does an overall better look for him. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Check out my other tutorials if you haven't already. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Oh my god, is that Pico.Blurred?